Claude Opus 4.8 just dropped a few hours ago, and I happened to be awake for it. I already played around with the model. I went through their blog post and went through this huge 244-page document outlining the technical details for Opus 4.8. And I came up with 5 things that are actually worth knowing. I'm going to start from the least important to the most important so it builds up. But stick around to the end because once we get there, I'm going to show you one thing Anthropic flagged themselves, but decided not to talk about it publicly. So starting small, and this one's for developers, the new messages API now lets you put the system entries inside messages array. In plain terms, it means that you can update Claude's instruction mid-task without breaking the prompt cache. So while your Claude code is working, you can change its permissions, its token budget, its context, while agent is still working. It's kind of a niche one, but if you're building a lot, this one is nice to have. And the second one is price. Claude Opus 4.8 is exactly the same price as 4.7. One thing is weird though is that those models are getting more powerful and they require more computing power. Yet the pricing doesn't change, which probably means Anthropic actually isn't making any money on AI. They're just burning through their venture capital funds. But on the good news, fast mode is now 3 times cheaper than it used to be. If you don't know what fast mode is, it's pretty much like a pay to win type situation where a model responds way quicker because it prioritizes your request above anyone else, but you pay a premium price. Number 3, and this is for the people who like using Claude app, effort control is now available on Claude.ai in Cowork, not like Claude Code as it was previously. You can now select between 5 different effort modes. And here's the part worth noting, the default level for Opus 4.8 has dropped from extra high in 4.7 to high in 4.8. Now Anthropic says the high effort level on 4.8 spends about the same amount of tokens as 4.7 extra high, but scores higher on paper. But practically, if you never play with effort levels, you're getting a model that thinks less by default than the one you had yesterday, meaning 4.7. If 4.8 ever feels lazy or shallow to you, play around with the effort levels, it makes a huge difference. Number 4, and this one is the coolest one in my opinion, Claude Code now has dynamic workflows. So what that means is that instead of one agent working through a task, Claude writes an orchestration script on the fly and spins up a whole army of sub-agents in parallel to work through the goal. And the wildest part is that those agents don't just split up the work, they argue with each other before they show you anything. They take an independent attempts on the same problem, then the adversarial agents trying to break the answer, and it keeps iterating until they converge, which mimics how the real software engineering team works. But I must say it burns through the tokens real fast, even Anthropic say that themselves. But think about the trade. If it's a code-based migration that would have taken a team like 3 or 4 months, spending a few $100 in tokens to do it in a week, it's the best deal in the software. This dynamic workflow is only available for Team, Max, and Enterprise plans. And to be honest with you, if you have a Pro plan, you won't even be able to use this feature because you don't have enough tokens. And the last one, which in my opinion is the best upgrade, Opus 4.8 is now more honest than any other model. We all know that Claude is the biggest yes man. It will mainly agree with whatever you say to it. And every model does this where it says, I done it, I fixed it, I pushed all the files, and then when you actually go and check, it's just a mess and nothing has actually been done. So Opus 4.8 is about 4 times better than 4.7 at catching its own coding mistakes. It's more willing to stop and tell you, hey, I'm not sure this worked. Which is something we've all been begging for. Like if you don't know how to do it, just say so, it's not a big deal. Which is why the next part is so weird, because buried deep inside this 244-page document, Anthropic flexed something they call greater speculation. And they call it themselves, it's the most concerning thing they saw during the training. So think about it for a second. The more a model learns to recognize when it's being evaluated, the less you can trust the evaluation reflects how it behaves for you in the real world. So the model that allegedly got better at admitting its own mistakes also got better at recognizing when it's being evaluated. So I'm not sure how accurate, or should I say honest, those results are. Last thing I want to mention is how to actually use this new model. It now reasons way more before it calls tools, so you don't have to worry about negative prompting. Don't write a full list of don't do this, don't do that, tell it what you want and give it a reason why you want it, and it'll perform way better. So the new model has the same price, it's more honest, and is generally better at most things, so it's kind of a real upgrade. But I don't even trust benchmarks nowadays because every AI company is just trying to maximize them to be on top, so don't take my word or theirs, test it on your own work. That's it for today. If you already tried the model, let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.